I'm making some Biscoff Truffles. Now, first thing I'm going to do is smash up all my Biscoff. Thank you, Laura, for sending these to me. All right, I'm basing this recipe off my peanut butter balls in my Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 1 on page 336. And I am halving the recipe. Okay, I'm going to melt my margarine or butter, powdered sugar, and instead of vanilla, Laura sent me this vanilla paste. I had never heard of this, but it looks very interesting. So, using that, it smells really good. Smells really, really good. Gotta get all that yummy goodness out. Oh my goodness. Okay, powdered sugar, and then my Biscoff spread here. This video is brought to you by our Dining on a Dime cookbook. We have quick and easy recipes your family will love to help you get in and out of the kitchen fast. Please visit us at livingonadime.com. Okay. Now, I made another recipe, so my beaters are already dirty. Okay, and I'm going to take my smashed crackers and add them in. All right, I got a couple of big pieces in there, and I just chunked them up with the... Okay, there we go. So now we're gonna make these into balls. Okay, so you don't have to use gloves. I'm using it just because I find it doesn't stick, but I'm using my little melon baller here, making a little roll. I just find that after doing this so many years that they don't stick to the gloves as much. All right, so I'm gonna roll all these out, and then we will freeze them. Okay, I've got them all rolled, and I'm going to put them in the freezer and let them get frozen so they will be easier to dip. Okay, I have all of my peanut butter balls here and my white chocolate, or not my Biscoff balls, I should say. Okay, now I totally forgot to leave one package to sprinkle crumbs on top. I'm so mad. So what I'm gonna do is, because they are all kind of similar with similar taste, I'm gonna add toffee on top. All right, I'm making Biscoff bars, kind of like, or fudge, or peanut butter fudge. I don't know how you want to say this, but first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my chocolate and I'm going to melt this in the microwave, stirring every 30 seconds. Okay, I'm going to microwave another 30 seconds. Nice and smooth. Now I'm going to add just a bit of coconut oil so it will be a little bit more firm. Got my little pan here, and I'm going to line it with my parchment paper. Now this parchment fits an 8 or 9 inch pan, but this one is 7 inch. I just like it because it makes thicker bars. So just going to get a little bit off there. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and spread a layer of chocolate on the bottom. Okay. Now, I'm gonna let this set up in the fridge. Now for my base, I have butter or margarine. Got a little bit of margarine there and a little bit of butter, and I'm gonna melt this in the microwave. Now I'm basing this recipe off of my peanut butter cups or peanut butter balls in my Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 1, right here on page 336 and 337. And what I'm doing is I'm halving the batch and just exchanging the Biscoff spread for the peanut butter. My viewer Laura sent this to me. Thank you, Laura. Going to get the mixer for this one. You don't have to, but. And Laura also sent me this vanilla paste. Thank you, Laura. I've never tried this before either, so I'm gonna give this a try. It sounds very interesting. Oops. There we go. Oh my goodness, that smells so good. Yum. Okay, and then my powdered sugar. And then in addition to these is the cookies. Now you can use your food processor. I'm just gonna whack them with the rolling pin. All right, I've got the base here. I think I did 1 package of crackers too many. I think I was supposed to do 4 and I did 5. Oops. Yep, I did 5, so only do 4, guys. That was my mistake. Okay, now we got it all nice and firmed. Then we're gonna take our chocolate and pour it on top. Okay. So where I messed up was I was supposed to save this for the top and I didn't. Well, wait, I think I only did 4. Okay, no, I think that's right. I don't know. Okay, so I have a little bit left from another topping sprinkling. All right, we're gonna let this set up in the refrigerator and then we'll come back and cut it. Oh, yum, that looks good. You might need to tap down your crumbs. Okay. Oh dear, I should have put parchment on each side. Ugh. Hold on. It's really stuck. There we go. Okay. Just had a tense moment there, but I made it through. Oops, I kind of cracked a little bit. Okay, so double parchment, guys. Double parchment. Okay. Here we go. Just take a little piece. Wow, that is really tasty. Okay, guys, you gotta try all these. You can find Biscoff at Walmart now. I say give these a try. They're a 10 out of 10. I am making a Biscoff Bark. Now, I just sort of came up with this one in my head. I don't know if anybody's ever made this before or not, but I was like, ooh, I want to try that. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to melt my white chocolate. All right, you want to stir. Now this is almond bark, not white chocolate. I know somebody's gonna holler about that, but you want to stir in between each 30 to 45 seconds so your chocolate doesn't burn. All right, woo! Look at that. I had a little bit of vanilla paste that Laura sent me also on my spoon, so I just used that. I had it from another recipe. Okay, so now I'm going to put a little bit of space in between each one, just a little bit. Okay, and then okay, I'm gonna spread it all over our cookies, just like so. Okay, and then got a package of already smushed crumbs that I'm going to sprinkle all over the top. And just for a little extra, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, I've got, well, let's see, I've got toffee bits here. Toffee bits right there. Okay, now we're going to throw this in the fridge or freezer and let it set up, and then we'll come back and crack it. Oh, yum. All right, got my Biscoff. Ooh, look at that. Okay, that's pretty cool. All right, so all right, going to give it a try. Oh man, that is a 10 out of 10. Oh, that is really delicious. Yum. I'm making Biscoff, like, cookie type bars, candy bars, I don't know what you would call them. I'm giving this recipe a try. Okay, I got my parchment paper here. And then this is what they are. A viewer, thank you Laura, sent these to me. And I've got them in my (1970s) food processor here. She always got that one that doesn't want to break up. Let me do it one more time. Okay, so then take and add my butter or margarine. I'm gonna melt this in the microwave. Okay, so then I have my Biscoff spread here, and I'm going to get a half a cup. I don't know, this stuff tastes pretty good. Okay, and then I've got my crumbs. Okay, we're gonna spread this all together. Ooh, man, this smells really good. Okay. Then for the chocolate layer, I'm going to take another couple tablespoons of the spread and chocolate chips. Okay, we're gonna microwave this. Right, we're gonna stir in between every 30 to 45 seconds just to get it melted. Okay, I'm gonna do another 30 seconds. All right, that is nice and smooth, and I'm going to add my whipping cream. And everything tastes better with whipping cream. Yum. Okay. So now I'm going to spread it. All over. So I probably should have heated the whipped cream up with the chocolate because the cold whipping cream made it set up quicker. So add it in there. It's not that big of a deal though. There we go. And now for the top. I forgot to leave a few out for my topping. All right. Shoot, you don't even need the food processor. I just whack them with the rolling pin. Okay. Just push some of those in. All right, we're gonna let this set up and then we'll come back and cut them. Ooh, that looks good. Okay. Ooh, that looks yummy. These are really delicious. Yum. This is a 10 out of 10. This would make a great toffee. You know how everybody does the Christmas crack? I do not understand why people put saltines and waste perfectly good toffee by ruining it with saltines, although I guess I should make the recipe, but to me, I want my toffee just to be toffee. But this actually sounds like it might be a good recipe to try. So thank you, Laura. So what I'm doing is instead of the saltines, I am using these Biscoff crackers, and let's see, my pan is a little, it's 8 by 8, so how should I do this? Should I break this into little pieces? And I don't know how I should do each corner. There, maybe that'll work. Oops. Okay, so now we're gonna go over and make our toffee portion. So I have my butter in here and my brown sugar, and I am going to bring this to a boil. This recipe is in my Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 1, on page 340. This is my grandma's original recipe card. I think this has been in my family for around 70 years. That's a long time. Okay, now once it starts to boil, don't stir it anymore. And you're going to set your timer for 7 minutes and let it cook for 7 minutes. If you're at high altitude, add another 30 seconds to 1 minute, depending on how high you are. All right, and I'm going to sprinkle a few almonds all over just because I thought that might be kind of tasty. I'm just sort of making this up as I go. Okay, now you have to be really careful because see how mine's starting to burn right there? So what I'm going to do is take it off the heat. And just so that my toffee doesn't burn, I'm going to, see I caught it just in time, I'm going to put it just all over. Oh my goodness, doesn't that look delicious? Oh, yum. Okay, so then I'm gonna spread this into my pan, just like so. Now, you can just leave it like this if you want, but what I am going to do is I'm going to take some chocolate chips and sprinkle it over top. Okay, so then I'm going to take a cookie sheet and put it on here because it holds the heat in to melt my chocolate chips easier. Just leave it for like 5 minutes and then we'll come spread our chocolate. All right, I think my mini chocolate chips, yep, they're all melted. The mini ones just take like 2 or 3 minutes. The big ones take, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. Not too long. You don't have to put the cookie sheet on there, but I do just because it makes it go quicker. Okay, now we're going to let this set up and then we will taste test. Oh, yum. Okay. Oh, did you see how lovely that popped out? Okay. That is so darn tootin' cool, it's not even funny. That looks so cool. Break it into individual cookies. Oops. Okay, gonna give it a taste test. Let's see. Okay, that is really good. Thank you, Laura, for sending these.